Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Over the past 48 hours or so, we've seen a ton of posts from the Call of Duty developers via COD updates, the Trello board, detailing things that they've either fixed and updated already since the launch of Season 4 kind of broke everything, or other things that they are looking into, they're investigating that we should see updates and fixes for here soon. And so today we have an assortment of patch notes and other update details to go through and break down. So starting here first on the COD updates Twitter account, like I said, we've got a lot of different posts to go through. This one actually dropped basically right alongside the patch notes when Season 4 dropped. They were pre-firing bug fixes and pre-firing issues they're looking into because theater mode within Black Ops 6 is temporarily disabled due to an issue loading replays. The devs actually told us this in the dev call that I had prior to Season 4, saying, hey, just a heads up, theater's not going to work. So they knew ahead of time this was going to be broken. Kind of crazy that they're putting out updates and they know a certain aspect of it is not going to work when it drops because the new update introduces new bugs. But yeah, that is going to get updated and fixed here shortly. They said it shouldn't be disabled for too long. Now in game, this one's been pretty obnoxious, but they did actually within Warzone disable the ability to edit custom loadouts in the pre-match lobby because it was causing crashing issues. There's also an issue going on in multiplayer where if you go into your custom class setup menu in the middle of a match, it'll just hard crash your game. Not sure what's going on there, but then in Warzone, you can't even edit things in the pregame lobby because that was causing a crash as well. So changing your loadouts on the fly right now across multiplayer and Warzone is just causing all sorts of issues. So they just completely removed the ability to do so in that pregame countdown. Hopefully that one gets fixed here soon because it's pretty obnoxious going into a game trying to change something on the fly. You're like, oh, I want to change to this optic, I wasn't feeling it last game, or having to stop back out to the full menu just to make a quick little adjustment to then re-queue. Definitely one that is more annoying than anything. And we did also see some mini update patch notes go out across the board. For instance, they say for BO6 and zombies, a small zombies update is now rolling out on all platforms. Addresses an issue that prevented players from using ascenders, zip lines, and other fast travel mechanics when anywhere but here or nowhere but there were equipped to an active gobblegum pack. So kind of just broke the entire game if you were using those. They also say a fix has been deployed to address inaccurate zombie lifetime leaderboard stats for players who are prestige 10 or higher. So just some really niche fixes there. They also put out an update for BO6 ranked play, saying an update was released earlier today that addressed the following issues in multiplayer ranked play. Competitive maps and modes have now been corrected. Players were loading into the wrong maps in ranked play that weren't supposed to be in the rotation. Vote to forfeit has been re-enabled, and then live pings have been disabled as expected. The update broke live pings, and those were actually back in ranked play when they weren't supposed to be. So fixing things that Season 4 unfortunately reset or broke. But that's far from all the updates that we've got to cover. We have pretty concerning things that the devs have started to address, and like I said, a bunch of different things to check out across the Trello board as well. Keep in mind as we're going through all the update changes and fixes and then things to look out for here today. If you guys enjoy the video, you find it helpful, a like rating is always seriously appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, you want to make sure that every single day you are in the know for everything going on in COD, whether it is news and updates, patch notes like this, meta breakdowns, it's all right here. So feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. Next up here, another one that I've seen a lot of players are having issues with. They say for Warzone, we are investigating an issue that is causing players to crash out of matches if they have a parachute customization equipped, notably the Black Cell Infill Season 4. In the meantime, we recommend that players use the default parachute customization while we work on resolving this issue. So if you've had crashing issues within Warzone right now, take off any and all parachute customization, just put it back on that default, and that hopefully should circumvent some of that. There's still going to be other crashing issues and other crashing problems there, but at least this will guarantee you to navigate around one that is very specific to using that parachute customization. And then lastly, for their Twitter post, before we jump over to the Trello board, they say within Warzone, we are investigating reports of accounts receiving steeper seasonal setbacks than intended in ranked play. I've seen a lot of people saying, wait a second, I was iridescent last season, why am I silver now? That's not supposed to be the case. So if you've seen that larger setback as you jump back onto ranked play, since they re-enabled that yesterday as we covered in our emergency update video last night, you might notice there are some issues going on there. If I were you, I'd probably chill and wait because there's no guarantee that that SR you're earning back in your silver or gold lobbies as you're reset further back than you should be is going to retroactively apply to them fixing your rank. So you may want to hold off there and just be patient until that's updated. Now on the Trello here, we've got quite a bit going on. Really what we're looking into is anything that's been started on May 30th or roughly in that time time period, right? So we can go over to some of the global issues here. Really, there's just one listed here that actually happened on the 29th. They say they are investigating an issue preventing players from equipping the monolithic suppressor on the FFAR and the LC10. We've obviously talked about this in our loadout coverage so far. Pretty important attachment, could be especially good on the FFAR, not as important on the LC10 because it's close range. We typically don't run monolithic on close range options here, but yeah, it's straight up broken. You'll notice that if you try and select it, it says unlockable in the armory. Then you head on over to the armory and it says you've got nothing to unlock here. So annoying bug there that the new suppressor can't work on the new weapons. But again, seasonal reset or seasonal update, it's going to break something, and it just so happens to be class setups in this case. We also have a lot of issues listed specifically under the battle royale stuff, the game mode stuff here. So they've disabled the scavenger contract in Clash while they investigate an issue there. So if you've been in Clash messing around, there's been a lot of reports of those servers being really bad in Clash specific and some crashing issues happening there. Good chance that a lot of it had to do with the scavenger contract for some reason. So once more, good news that they're looking into that. We're disabling the ability to edit the pre-match loadout, so we of course covered that. Then also investigating the parachute issue is listed here too. We then have some ranked specific things. They of course mention the steeper seasonal setbacks, but then also we are investigating an issue showing incorrect tags under ranked play. Bots are not in ranked play. So if you're seeing weird visual pop-ups when you're taking players out or names listed, it's not bots. It's just a visual bug that's going on there. If there were bots in ranked play, we'd see a lot more players in Iridescent that probably should not be in Iridescent, right? But nonetheless, we got a couple of Trello board updates here. Also, little post edit Zach here. I did just want to mention that, of course, last night we covered the whole emergency update that they put out to address the major server stuttering and hitching that was breaking the entire game, essentially. I did just want to report that after that update went out, I was playing a lot. It seems like those stuttering and hitching issues are basically gone. At least from my experience, I wasn't running into that situation again. There were still weird server instances where it felt like movement or inputs were a little bit off. Hit reg was still not feeling great, but that's just Warzone at its core at this point, it seems. But for those worried about, you know, their initial update not actually fixing things, from my experience, from my squad's experience, then from the limited time I spent watching some other streamers play and some other creators play, it does seem like those major stuttering and hitching issues have been resolved. Still things that are listed from before the update, which is kind of odd as well, dating all the way back to, you know, the start of the month basically, and then still them having a fix scheduled for an issue with loadout data resetting, and your loadouts getting reset on the menu there back to something random or default there. That has not been fixed in a long time. Little concerning that that is still fixed scheduled. We all assumed that was going to be a season 4 update, and lo and behold, did not happen there. So we'll have to keep our eyes out there. But lots of things being looked into, lots of things being investigated, few things already having been updated here since the launch of season 4. I expect next week is going to be a busy one in terms of bug fixes and gameplay updates, so I'm going to be keeping you guys up to date as any and all new info drops, new updates go out. If you want to make sure you're in the know for all of that stuff, be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications, and if you enjoyed this video, a like rating on your way out would be really appreciated. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.